LeBron James is not training by playing a basketball game. Training is in the gym. Training is at practice. That is game time. So most people say when you're out there selling is training. I'm like, no, just because you've been selling for 5 years doesn't make you well trained. That just means you've been playing a game. There's an online element, there's an in-class element, and then there's an in-the-field element, right? And so you got to look at it as kind of a three-pronged approach. And training is very different than content or like, here's my manual. It's like, that doesn't make him trained. That makes them have a resource. Does that make sense? So even if you just bought our online training where we actually white label, we customize it, we send video guys to your team and we film and edit and build out your own version of training because everybody has a different system, a different program. So we really go in deep. Yesterday I found this number, 772 companies we've actually built a white labeled platform for their companies and thousands of sales reps. And where my video guys every week are in a different state. But that's one element. And I'm like, that's cool. You got the logins. Now what? And they, that holding them accountable to watching is step one, but then getting feedback and saying, did you actually learn it is step two. So whether they sit in a classroom and say, regurgitate back to me what you watched, make sure that they memorized it, make sure that they can pivot and they can maneuver on different, objections and things like that. That would be done in the classroom. Now on the field is where most people say I'm training is in the field by doing it. No, LeBron James is not training by playing a basketball game. Training is in the gym. Training is at practice. That is game time. So most people say when you're out there selling is training. I'm like, no, just because you've been selling for 5 years doesn't make you well trained. That just means you've been playing a game. Now, how do you get better? And this kid, it's his 4th year and he's been working for a pretty decent company. And I'm like, how come you're getting the same results that you were 4 years ago? That's frustrating. Just because you've done it 4 years doesn't make you trained. And that is a case in point right there. He's sitting at 40 pest control sales in 7 weeks. And I'm like, did you know that there's a guy in my videos that did 40 in a day? So there's the difference. You spent 7 weeks grinding all day and he spent 1 day. And that's the difference between well-trained, not well-trained. Does that make sense? And he's like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, okay, if you could copy exactly what he's saying, what he's doing, how he's thinking, what he's saying, and can we master that? How fast? It's crazy as I guarantee I get a text message. It's like, dude, I just had my best day today. I get that all the time because it doesn't need to take, people think time equals trained. No, it can happen like this. It can happen really quick to get really big shifts and results in this industry. And that's what's so fun. So on the field, which would be the third element, would be something like, I watch you, you watch me. Now we talk about it and we give harsh feedback and we say what worked, what didn't work. That to me is training, and then having real accountability to the training. Because some people are like, oh, I did my onboarding training. I'm like, so you're good? You're a professional now? You're a sales professional. You want to make real professional income. You did onboarding training. Congratulations. Training isn't something we did, it's something we do. Meaning whether you've been there for 5 years or 1 year or 1 month, you should always be training. I'm always training.